As I can guess, you are all developers. I'm as well. That's my preferable stuff. So, what I want to show you right now is the development stuff. Again, in the terms of integration, yeah? If you do the .NET development, you are just doing Visual Studio. Maybe some customers are using Java development or J2EE development based on Eclipse or other system. Okay? But the secret is how to integrate all the parts of the product. And again, Visual Studio Ultimate based on Team Foundation Server that gives you the answer. Okay? I will show you that. Okay, from this case, and one of the improvements, that is the feedback as well, from the product teams based on development to Microsoft. Difficulty element which branches. I have a lot of branches inside my project, but I can absolutely not see where my code is done or not, or where my tests are done or not. What is the effect of one change set with the other one, or I don't know, because I have absolutely no clue how my branching or merging strategy is done. I have no visualization, or I can absolutely not, or I'm not unable to perform distributed builds. If I have a lot of builds, where the builds are distributed and how, I don't know. Then the continuous integration, but we have the term of continuous integration from the Team Foundation Server 2008. It works good, but it's still a little bit, well, a lot of broken, because if your code is compiled good, if it compiles good, your build will succeed. Okay, that's all. That's something what continuous integration do. With all this stuff and the improvements that Microsoft did in this version, in the actual version now, it's 2010, the world is becoming easier for us. Okay, so in case of visualization, the branch visualization, guys, do we know the notion of change set? Do we know what a change set is? It is not a shame if you don't want. I'm here to explain you what it is. Okay. A change set, do we know the mechanism of, depends on, doesn't matter on which version control system you are working with, subversion or starting from Borland or Sven or whatever, or Team Foundation Server or Visual Source Safe as well from Microsoft. It doesn't matter, but the notion of check in and check out must be known, isn't it? Check in, check out is known. So the notion of change set is becoming with Visual Studio, or is becoming with Team Foundation Server, version control. As well, this is the part, this is one of the parts of Team Foundation Server as well. As you can remember from the beginning, that part, that one, project management, work item tracking, version control. Isn't it? Do you remember the first slide? Okay, the first control. That is that part that you have to take now. Now, from there, the change set is not other than every check-in action you make, every check-in action you make into the repository. It can be check-in of the source code, one or more files, or source code and documents and whatever, that results in a change set. That is a set of information that will be held inside the version control system and will be encapsulated, and you can track that separately from your system in a while of time you want and when you want. It will be registered in your system, in your warehouse, in your version control database inside SQL Server, and you can absolutely get information from it when you want and how you want. Okay? That is the notion of change set. Right? Okay, so what you see here is the tracking work item 2 to 3, which is part of the change set 2026. The tracking of work items, maybe I tell you the magic right now. I can understand if you don't understand it right now, but the purpose is that you don't understand later. I'm not talking about the tracking work item. I'm talking about something else like work item. Where did we saw that before? Work item. We saw that before, I think. Huh? We saw that before, but project management stuff. Yeah? And from now, in a few seconds ago, we saw that as well from the integration with architecture edition. Right? We can create work items for that. Now, again here, I'm talking about tweaking of work items. But I'm talking as well about change set. Change set, that's something to do with source code. What the heck? I'm not from Visual Studio, I'm just coding the code. I'm making some C# code. What the heck about work items? You got them? The integration, guys. The integration is very, very interesting. But not only the integration, but as well the traceability. The traceability. In order to make the traceability efficacious in your product, I will advise you every chicken action you make to the repository to assign one or more work items to that chicken action you did. Because the pieces of code that you have to check into the repository have to make with some work you have to do, or some work that is assigned to you from your project manager. Do you got the idea? We have a project plan. I make a work item task, work item rabat. It has some unique ID. That is something I have to do. I make the code, I make work item rabat, which is business nothing. But I was ready with that code. I want to check that code into the repository. But by the checking action, I get some information where I can insert another information, which is assign a work item to your checking action. Then I will assign that work item I created before. And now, okay, that is done. And you have some status on it. It is associated or it is closed. If it is done, it's resolved. That means you have made the code, you have tested, you have a good feeling about it, it is done, and you can close the work item. Okay? Or it is just the first action, the other actions will follow, then it is associated, then you let that stay. But I will advise you always to assign a work item to a chicken action. I will show you how to do that. Okay? Now, that's what you see here. We are now talking about the change set 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And you see that there is some interaction, or there is some dependency on this change sets. Because my change set number 1 is the first one that was on the service portfolio level. But the change set 27 is part of my main branch, as you see here. Yeah? But in my integration branch, I have the change set 28. In my test branch, I have the 29. And in my delivery branch, I have 30. This is a happy scenario. From all the stages where you deploy, you see that everything is going good. But it can as well done otherwise. That things go wrong or something like that. That's what you see. From 26, that is the happy scenario, this is the bad scenario, and this is the tracking of the work item and the change set combination. You see the information about it. And that is how you can see that in another graph, in another visualization. That one is one visualization graph. This one is another one. Just state or dependent. You see 26, there are 27, 28, and 28 or 27 are 29, and then 30. That is the dependency that is between the change sets. In every stage you deploy your application. Okay, this is about the build. That's something I have to skip right now, but I will come back to that later. So, I like the practical stuff. So, what we now have to do is, let's go back to our application. Let me just pick up one source file, which is geometric service or account controller, doesn't matter. Okay, the account controller is just class from my controller stuff here. but that is not the idea what I want. You see, guys, from here, okay, I can do that here, but this solution or this project is already under version control. It is already under version control because I'm now working offline. That is now something supported as well by Team Foundation Server now. When you have the information, or when you have the network, and you make the connection to your Team Foundation server, and you do a get latest version of the source code from Team Foundation server to your local workspace, and the network connection is gone, don't worry, you can still work. You work offline. But when your network connection is coming back, Team Foundation server notifies you as well, but this is what you see here, like that one, and you can go offline. You can go online. That means everything you did offline, that will be synchronized, and it will be, when you do the checking action, it will be synchronized and checked into the repository. You lose absolutely no work. Does it make sense? That's why I took this one offline, just to work first offline, and now I will go online. And you will see that all the source code here is already stored on the Team Foundation server. That I want to create a new project. I want to show you how you create a project and how you store that in the Team Foundation server from the first time, and how you take that figure in your solution. Okay? So I will go online here. So then you see, okay, yes, I made some changes to save them before. Then you can see, yeah, just do it. Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah, okay, I made a dependency graph, I know, I didn't save it yet. Come on. So, questions in the real time, guys. If you have questions, just ask them. No, I think that going online for now is a bad idea. It will take a while, but what I want to do now is just start another instance of Visual Studio. You see, go online. Okay, that's not everything, but come on, give me the information. Okay, my system is now able to see the modifications I made to my system from the last time until now. They are here. When I go online, where is my Visual Studio? Because you have to see what happens. Yeah, what's this? What the heck? Oh, okay, sorry, that's my VM. I started another instance of Visual Studio. Here is still. Okay, there's another instance, but come on. I do two tests parallel. Now we see that everything is getting from the system, and now when this one is finished, we see that we are now online, and that the solution gets another symbols from the Team Foundation server repository, and from that moment, can you guarantee your check in, you check out, everything you know from your source code. So, as you can see here, there are some symbols, this one, and that other one. That means that this source code is already stored on Team Foundation server. And what you see here, this one, that red flag, that means that this project is checked out, or parts of that project are checked out. Yeah, and you see the other parts are not, are just checked into the repository. It's just to give an idea. What I want to do now is just from okay, that is now new. Good, go away. But it is very important to show you how this works. This is my Visual Studio environment. Suppose you study Visual Studio from the beginning, you have not yet made a connection with Team Foundation Server. Now, from here, when you install Visual Studio, Ultimate or Professional, or you get the installation of Team Explorer as well. In 2008 and 2012, you have to do that separately, but now it is integrated. So, from here, I can see connect to Team Project. Okay? But suppose this is my TFS, are others, or suppose this is the first time and this one is empty. The only thing I have to do is just go now to servers and to add the URL of my Team Foundation server I configured. You have to install Team Foundation server first. You get some URL or some IP address. You give it there. Go. That's all. Then, if it is gone the right way, your Team Foundation server will be stored in the list here. You see, I'm now working on 3 different Team Foundation servers. Just this one and this one just for the customer, but that other one is just for me locally. Okay, so I'm now working on this one. Okay. He is now seeing in case of permissions, because I logged before on that Visual Studio installation with another credentials. So I have to give the right credentials here. And you will see that we get connection to Team Foundation server with 2 default connections we saw already, and with 4 team projects on it. As I told you already, the team projects that are the projects that are generated from Team Foundation server are called team projects. Okay, and they have all. Doesn't matter from which process template, they have all the same structure. On this case, on the Team Explorer case. Okay, the structure in the terms of they have all work items, they have all belts, and they have all source control. Okay, that is one. That other one, work items, belts, and source control. Again, work items, the belts, and source control. Work items, the belt, and source control. You see, 4 different projects from 4 different process templates, but that have all the same structure. Wow. Okay? So, let's go back to our project, and let's go back to the source code. Now I have just started a new version of Visual Studio. What I have to do now is just a new project, doesn't matter what. Let me take, I would like to show you just some MVC stuff. Where is it? We have MVC 3 right now. Yes. MVC 3 app demo. Okay, and I would like to store that on the same directory as I have my other stuff, which is this one, community, and then Microsoft Morocco, and then source code demo. So, okay, and from here I can create directory for solution. I would like to have that, and from now I can see, okay. Then I have to choose which one I want, because in MVC 3, if you are using MVC 2 already, now we get some other features. One of them is to see if you want to enable Windows authentication or not, and the other one projects with an account controller that use from authentication. It depends on what you want. That I would like to intranet or internet, what you want, just that one. Okay, but the other feature is now you can switch on different agents. We have first ASPX agent. Now we have Razor agent. Razor agent. Okay, and that is the ability I told you before. Now I'm creating an MVC application, and I have the ability to create this project if I want. If I select this one, it is already selected. My application will be created, and the test project for that application will be created as well. Okay? And Visual Studio unit test, the test framework I have to use for this one, I can choose between Visual Studio. That is the only one I have, or I can choose the additional information from in unit or other unit test frameworks. Okay, JUnit if you are talking about Java. Okay, so now from here I can see, okay, come on, and my creation, my application will be created. My solution with two projects, MVC 3 web application and the MVC web application .tests, because I choose to create the test project for that. Okay, now that are all the references assemblies from Microsoft and from .NET Framework. One of the targets of Visual Studio is that you now can target between different .NET frameworks. As you see, from Visual Studio 2005, I will take you from 2003, for instance. Then we have .NET Framework 1.1. 2005, we have .NET Framework 2. 2008, we have 3.0. Then there is some service that coming later, which gives us the ability to 3.5. Now we are in the stage of the Visual Studio 2010, which is targeted to 4.0 .NET Framework. Of course, if you are inside the organization, which the division, the dev division, development division, or dev division is developing on .NET Framework 3.0, but the support division or the maintenance division, whatever, operation division is the right term, is supporting .NET Framework 2. There's no shame, you can as well develop from Visual Studio 2010, but targeted to .NET Framework 2.0, just to meet the needs of the operation division that will deploy or that will support your application later when it is deployed. It's no problem. You can switch absolutely between the different .NET Framework versions inside Visual Studio. That is what you name multi-targeting. Okay? Cool. So, as you see, my application is created. You see the controllers, the models, the view. That's what we name MVC control, MVC pattern. And you see a lot of magics happening behind the scene, and a lot of stuff is done. Okay, that isn't something that interests me right now, but I will absolutely give you the idea when I do the rebuild of my solution, just to check if my solution is compiled well. It is because it is succeeding. Yeah, I can choose to execute my solution, and I will get just a crazy web application. Welcome to MVC web application. Yeah. With my login as Hassan HP domain and Hassan username, because I activated the Windows authentication. Right? Do you trust that, or I have to show you? Okay. So what I want to do here is just to show you how you store the solution or your project into the Team Foundation server repository. So we are now from the Solution Explorer. The only thing to do is right mouse click. If you don't have Team Foundation server targeted as version control in your system before, you will get this one. I will back, Tools, Options, Source Control, and you see, for me it is already done, and this is the only one I use right now. But if I don't have, and I do this one, and now I will go to, I have no ability to store it into Team Foundation server repository, because I'm now targeted to use Team Foundation server version control. So just to show you the idea. And now, when okay, it's not yet started. Now I will back, I will store it again. When I target to Team Foundation server, okay, and I go back, right mouse click, here we go. From here, just click add version control, and they have the ability, because you have mini team projects, but that solution must be part of one of the projects. Which one do you want to do? Okay, I did already on Okay, let you do that on MS Agile, because I have a dev branch, a main branch, a dev branch, and I want to do something here, which is I will create another one, which is demo branch. Okay, phase 3 demo branch. Okay, then in order to keep it structured, I do something like source. Okay, just folder inside main branch, and I will tell you more about branch right now in a couple of minutes. Okay, so when I do okay, then is my application will be stored into a repository. It is not yet done. It is not yet done. It is not yet stored into a repository, but it is now on server, but it is not yet committed into a repository. So, if I take you back to the visualization graph you saw right now, I talked about work items and the change set. Do you remember that on slides? The idea is when you make some source code. Now we have created a solution in a few minutes. It works because you compiled it's good. It works. I tested it do the stuff like normal. So I have to check it into my repository. Some tips to pick up from here are that are the possibilities of the version control from Team Foundation server. I will explain some of them right now. But just to begin with checking, this one, I get it on the screen, and on that screen we have some information, very important information. To begin, just give some comment, because you want to check something which is done or something like that. Just give it a comment. Okay. For me, in this case, it is just the first check-in. Oh, my son, wake up. The first check-in into TFS. Okay, that's why I want to check into the repository. Then, the notion of work item association with check-in action. That's what I mean. I promise you to show, that's what I mean. So, you see now, he is selected on the immersive agile projects, but on the wrong iteration, because I want to store that code on, he's now selected on iteration 1. I don't want that, because today I worked on iteration 2. And I get the whole stuff. You see, that are the work items we created before. You see, we have the work item task robot work item created. You saw that by the creation. You see the bug test, that one. You see the test case robot work item. We create all the work items live. We are okay. So, but for this purpose, I have already created some source code control check-in actions like this one. Okay, I choose check-in action. That's what I have to do now. That is this one, and that is the state. That is what I mean by if you check an action results with the association with something that's already done means you are absolutely finished with that. Then you cannot associate it, but you can resolve it. When you do that, the work item, which is associated to, remember the ID 88 is now part of the active work items. Right now, 88. When I do resolve and I do the check-in action, okay, I will be moved from active to closed because it is resolved. That is the change of status. Again, the integration. Okay? So, I want to do it now. Check-in. You see? The source code is now taken from a local workspace into the source code repository. And you will see in a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds that the source code gets the symbols that the code is stored into the repository. And from that moment, you can do everything with check in, check out, shelving, everything you want with your source code. From that moment, every action you execute on your source code will be logged. The big brother is watching you. And from that moment, you secure the code stored on your repository. Things doesn't go wrong in that way, because you can restore everything you want. If you are busy with source file and later, oh shit, that is the wrong one, don't worry, just independent changes and everything is all back, no problem. Okay, you are working on the home controller.cs file from your workspace, but me as well, I am as well working on the same file. We are working together, separated of each other, but you was the first one who is working, and you do a chicken action. And I was the second one who is working. I do the second action. He will notify me. Hey, Hassan, you want to do something? Shall take an action on that file. But I see that the version you have right now and the version on the server are not identical. Because, again, your name is Rida. Because Rida have checked in a new situation onto the repository than the situation you have on your local workspace. So, in that case, I get some screen. Hey, what I have to do now? I can compare them, the server side and your local side. I can merge them via merge tool, or I can say, okay, what Rida did, I don't trust that. I would like to keep my local workspace version, or I'm just stupid because my modifications are totally wrong. I would like to take the server version into my local workspace. Thus, things don't absolutely go wrong. That is the idea. Does it make sense, guys? Okay. So, as you see now, the source code is now stored into a repository. Now, from here, I can now do everything I want with the source code. So, just to show you some possibilities of, just to begin from the solution perspective, you see build solution, rebuild solution, clear solution. When I do clear solution, that means all the assemblies stored in the bin directory are cleaned. Okay? And when I do the build solution, the build mechanism will start from the beginning. But when I do the rebuild solution, he will clean and he will build. Thus, this action and this action are resulted in one. That's why I do always a rebuild solution. I remove the old binaries, if there exist, and I build again. Okay? So, batch build, that is in case of you want to make some build script based on some batch or something like that, you can make it from here. Okay? Configuration manager, in order to make some, that are your projects. And in case of configuration, we have debug and release. And you can create your own configuration if you want. We have debug, release, maybe staging, maybe production, maybe something like that. You can create your own if you want. Okay? And we have, keep that in mind, because we will need that later by the build. And, sorry, the active solution platform, you see, you can, from Visual Studio, you can target to mini platforms. Now it is targeted to any CPU, but you can absolutely target to many other platforms. You can create your own if you want. Okay, mixed platform or just for 64 or 86 or whatever. Okay, now it is just targeted to in a CPU. It's good. So again, code matrix calculation. When we are talking about quality of code, we have some things to keep aware about: the code matrix, the code analysis, and the code coverage. Okay? The code analysis, to begin with that are rules based on guidance. In case of C# as a programming language, there are rules based on C# guidance, and there are rules that have to be made in case of your application. When you activate code analysis for your solution, the compiler will take the code and I will compare that against the code analysis from Microsoft in this case, to see if they need the C# guidance. If not, you will get warnings or errors about that. Just to get the quality code. That's what we talk about first in the first slide about quality. Okay, then we have the code coverage. The code coverage is just to have some ability to see how many pieces of code are covered by tests we made in our projects. Okay, just in filters. Okay, and okay, collapse projects, unload project, remove sort usings, blah blah blah, project dependencies. No, okay, it's not for me. Git latest version. Git latest version. You are storing your source codes into the repository, and or I have stored some information into the repository. You are coming today or later, and you will start with developing. The first thing you do is just git latest version. Then you have the up-to-date information from the server to your local workspace, and from that moment you can go ahead with development. Okay, that's why. But we have git latest version and git specific version. Git specific version, in terms of specific, that means I would like the latest version from the server based on latest version, or just a labeled version, or just by date, or something like that. That's why specific. Okay? Check out for edit. You can use it, but in 2010, I have already selected this file, but it is not yet checked out. That is home controller, that is here, has not yet checked out. Yeah? But when I choose check out for edit, for that file, he will be checked out directly. But now I selected, but if I want to check out the file, the only thing I have to do is just to make some modification on it. And you see, it is changed. From that now, that point is checked out. And you see it is checked out to me. And if it is checked out by someone else, inside the same project, you will get some other symbol here, which is some person symbol. Some person symbol. Symbol d'une personne. Tu vois ici, ça veut dire أنه شي واحد آخر خدام في ذاك الفايل تاعو. Okay? Okay. So that's about that. Then check in. Few pending changes. Few pending changes. That means another screen will be appear where I see all the changes in the product or in the solution. Because this is now the first time for this project that are all few pending changes. But if you are only working with one file or two files or a limited set of files, you can only see that kind of files, but selected. The files we are working with are selected, the other not. But be careful to see if that are the right ones. Good. Then, shelving. Okay, guys. As usual, but it's not for me. As usual, we work from 8 to 5 or from 9 to 6 to whatever. Just a working day. Okay? So, the target of today is to finish the work item B. And the work item B contains some functionality that has to be built. But at 4:30, Rida gets a call from his family or something like that. He must leave directly. But the expected work from Rida that has to be done is not yet done. Okay? It's not yet done. What Rida in that case has to do, because he can check that work into the repository, because it is not yet done. It is not compiled. It is not good. Yeah? Maybe it is good. It is compiled, but it's not yet testing very well, because I have no good feeling about it, and I will absolutely not infect the repository. So in that case, what Rida, because Rida has to live, in that case what you have to do is just to shelf it. Do you know the shelving mechanism? Just take it, put it on the server somewhere, give it a name, which is the shelf name, and it will be associated by you, by Rida in this case, and that's all. It is available for everyone inside the project. Everyone can reach that. Everyone can go further with that. Have to unshelf it first, then I can go with it. Yeah? If nobody touch that, and it's only for Rida, The next day, when the leader comes to the company, and I will go ahead with his work. The only thing I have to do is just to unshelf, take it again from the server, and put it on your workspace, and you can go with it. But when it is finished, then you have to check it in. Does that make sense? في البروجي خدامين درنا ميعاد حيت الكونتكست ديال البيض راه دابا غادي نجي عليه. الكونتكست ديال البيض قلنا انه عندنا حنا البيض اون كونفيغوري نوتر بيض باش يكون سكيدجول. سا فو دير من لاندي جوسكا فندردي مع 3 ديال الصباح خص البيض ديالنا يستارت حيت خاصو 3 سوايع ولا 5 سوايع ديال الوقت باش كلشي سيستيم انتيغري وبريزنتو باش البيض ديالنا يتكون. ملي غادي يتكون داك البيض غادي يتديبوزا فواحد اللوكاسيون اللي غادي ربما تكون ديال السيستم ديال التيستور ولا ربما شي لوكاسيون اخرى. داكور بون باش حنا داك البيض يكون مزيان فهمتي شنو غادي نديرو. دابا كنا خدامين في البروجي واحد منا خصو يخرج ديريكت داك المهم داك البيربوز داك الدور ديال داك النهار اللي خصنا نديرو داك السيد ما افيكتيه. اذا ما غاديش الكود اللي قالو ما غاديش يديرو جا تشيكين التي اف اس بوزيتيف لا لانه الا دارو باقي ما خداش وغادي كامل حيت ملي غادي تجي غادي دير جيت لايك اكسبلوشن باش كونتيني على البيزنس ديالك مع انه دابا غادي تشيكي شي حاجه ما خداماش ودرتي جيت لايك اكسبلوشن سافيدي غادي تاخذ لا فيرسيون ديال السيرفر اللي ما مزيانش وإن فوا غادي دير كومبايل للاسم ديالك حتى حاجه ما بقيتش تخدم. اذا اون ان بروبليم كيفا. اذا باش نتحداو هاد المسائل هادي قلنا والميعاد هو ملي غادي نديرو ميعاد بحال هكا باش اي واحد خصو يتشيك الكود ديالو قبل ما يمشي للدار. ربما الانسان تيمشي ربما الانسان تيمرض ربما كاين ظروف اون سي جامي راه كنخرج دابا من الخدمه اليوم ما واش شي واش ترجع لنا نخرج نضرب شي كوم الله يستر ما عرفتش شنو ولا تخرج ونمرض اون سي جامي. اذا باش الانسان يسيكوري المسائل ديالو باش لورغانيزاسيون تاعي كيفاش عاطي ديبوندو بواحد لا بيرسون غادي يديرو ميعاد ديال البلانش شي بيتي صافي. بون هادوك هذا ما غاديش يدير تشيكين الكود ديالو غادي يديرو شيلف والشيلف هو غادي ديبوزي فواحد لوكاسيون على السيرفر راه ماشي في الريبوزيتري غير في واحد لوكاسيون في السيرفر. راه اي واحد غادي يشوفو زعما الا بغا انت الا جا الله ما جاش نهار الاخر ولا سميتو حنا ديبوندو غادي تاخذو عارف شنو لو نون ديالو ولا عارف انت دايرو غادي ديرو ان شيفت غادي تجيبو لعند من تما غادي تمشي عاوتاني تاخذ لي بيزي كونتينيو فهمتيني. داكشي علاش دابا هادي راه نوفو في ستيفون داك السيرفر سي بون لانه شحال ديال لي سيتياسيون بحال هكا وقعوا في لي بروجي. اوكي Okay, let's go ahead. Few history of some file. Right now, there's not a lot of history to show because it is the first time I checked them into the repository. But if you are a long time working with that source code, and you will see how the history of the file is done, they will get all information you need about it. Okay, then we have something like share pending for history name. Okay, that's okay. That's all solutions there. But if I'm now working on the source file, I have some other things, few pending changes, independent changes. So I'm now working on source file, but okay, implies that I'm now working on home controller. I'm working on another file, but I realized that later. Shit, it is not the right one. It is the wrong one. The only thing I have to do is in this case, I know I'm doing something wrong. There's no C#. This is just blah blah. Okay? But oh no, you see that this file is checked out to me. But I'm now working on the wrong file. Now I have a problem inside my project. Guys, don't worry, because Team Foundation server support you with that. That is the notion of independent changes. When I do that, he notified me. Which file are you talking about? It's the only one what I'm now working on. This is the only one who is checked out. So he is the only one who is selected. So I can check the list. I'm a human being. I'm still making mistakes. Nobody's perfect. We see that. Okay? That is the only one I do. And the checking. Yes. Go. Voila. I'm back to my original situation. I'm back to my check-in file. My changes are gone. I have not infected the source file for the others. Okay? Good. So, view history, okay, that's not again because this is the first thing, it's not in the view right now. And we have another one is compare. Compare is when you do a git latest version from the repository, and you have a version of that file on your local workspace, but on the server side you have another version. But you will see before you get the latest version or before you do a check-in or something like that, you must be secure and you must be sure about what the differences are. Maybe what someone stupid has to store something wrong on the server, but I have to be sure which information is good for me. The good sample of that is if you are doing seriously the web development, and we now all we are doing web development, we have to do with web config files, right? Web.config files. Yeah. Now, in case if we have many configurations, and we have a server somewhere where we deploy, but we have as well our local server, local database server, just for development, but we have a deployment server somewhere. But to do this first, the right way, just to test that against your local database, you have some connection string, which has some information about your local database and about the connection string, about the authorization or permission or authentication role, and that kind of stuff. Yeah? So in that case, I have to compare both config files from server and from the local files. What are the differences? Of course, there are more differences because the database of production of the server is not the same as the database of my local database. Okay, in that case, you can make some comparison of the code. Just to explain you that. So annotate. That is the big brother is with you. Again, annotate that you have all the information done on source file level. That have the information like what are the modifications, which line of code is modified, what is the modification in that line of code, by who is that done, and when it is done, and which shelf set is that part of code part of. Okay? Check? Okay. So, I would like to show you how that works, that annotate. What they have to do now is, we have another notion inside the Foundation server, which is check-in policies, because software development contains a lot of disciplines, and when we have appointments inside the projects to meet the policies, everyone has to fit that. So one of them is when we go to source control, we have something like check-in policies. You see, now I have work item policy activated here. Because I have activated this one, and if I'm now trying to check in a part of code or source code into the repository, and I haven't assigned a work item to that piece of code, it doesn't matter. It doesn't do. It will not do the job. It will suck. Okay? Of course, you can override it. But I absolutely, as TFS administrator, I can't see that. Maybe you have some reason to do that. Maybe you have no work item for that piece of stuff. Then you have to go to your project manager and ask them to make a work item for you. Because that is something you have to deliver, and that is something you have to make some hour registration on it. Because I will ask you, Rida, what did you do yesterday? How many hours you spent to the project yesterday? 7. Okay, what did you do in the last hour? Where is 1 hour gone on? What did you do? Just interneting or just tweeting or what did you do? You are responsible about your schedule. Okay? And your project manager have to control you about that. In that case, if you have some stuff to do, some software to develop, have to do a chicken action, please ask your project manager to make a work item for that. Okay? Just for your information. So, as you see now, I can make a chicken action. When I didn't fill a work item, it will suck. Good. So, we have another one, because out of the box we have 5 chicken policies, but you can install the power tools, Team Foundation Server power tools, and you will get more chicken policies into your system. I did. So, when I do add, you see that I have a lot of chicken policies stored on my system. One of them is the chassis comment policy. When I check into the repository and I didn't fill the comment part, it will not check in. Because everything you check in, you have to give it some comment. You do something. You cannot check in for nothing. Okay? That's one of them. Code analysis, for instance. When I activate this one and I will check in, my chicken action will absolutely not take place before the code analyses are run for the application. And the code analyses in kind of quality of code are done and are successful, then my source code will be checked in, otherwise not. Okay? So, custom path policy, okay, forbidden pattern policy, the testing policy, if you are using unit tests inside your application and you want to check in, when you activate this one, the source code will not check in into the repository before the unit tests are run and successful. Okay? Query policy, will guide policy, there's some, it's like belts. The belt policy, it has to be built first, then it will be checked in. But it's the combination of the belt and the check-in. You have another mechanism in the belt concept that I will show you in a few seconds. I will back to that. Okay, just to give you an idea about what are the available chicken policies. Of course, you can create your own if you want. It is just C# code. You can create your own policies if you want. You can upload it to your system, and everything can do that. That's correct. Okay. So that's that. Then checking notes. If you do that, we have the code reviewer, security reviewer, and performance reviewer. When you activate one of them, that means my source code have to be reviewed before it's stored in the repository. But in this version of TFS 2010, it is just selecting that and just giving name. Okay, let you activate that. I will show you how it works. Okay. Now I'm working on that file again here. Test not chicken policies, but review. Just limit review. Just comment on the code. Now this source file is checked out to me now. Okay, I want to show you two things. When I do when I do the check-in, yes, thank you. Sorry, I forgot to save. Now I get this screen. If now I'm trying to check in, it will suck. It will not work for 3 reasons. Now for 2 reasons in this case, because for the work item that I haven't assigned, and for the checking out that I didn't fill. The first one, check in, boom. It will not. Okay? What you see now is the code review. The code review is not filled because I checked in that flag. Okay? And the only thing I have to do is just to give a name. Assign. This one is fit. Now check in. It will not do. What did I miss? What did I miss here? Why my chicken action is not successful? No. J'ai pas activé le command. Work item. Good. Of course I can override that if I want. But I will see that. As project administrator, you get a problem. If you don't have a good idea to do, a good reason to do that. Okay? That is not applicable. We just assign the work item for that. Yeah? Just work item. Check if you are busy with. Check if you are busy with the right projects. This one. Please be careful. Check everywhere. Check always if you are busy with. If you are on the right level. Check in. What I want to do is check a policy. Yes, check a policies. Yes, this one. I create all work items for that kind of stuff, just to demonstrate how it works. Okay, check a policy. But this one is done. When I do resolve, again, 93 is still here. Okay? But as well, I will do, let first do 93. 93. Remember that. Has now set to resolved. Okay? And now when I check in, it will goes good. Source file is checked in. And when I go back to my version control, to my Team Foundation server, and I go back to my query inside the iteration 2, and I will look for which one was that? 93. I do refresh. 93. I have just changed the state of them from associate to resolved. That means that work item is resolved. It's completed. He will be moved from the active task to the completed tasks. To show you that, just to do it from here. Fix. Done. Okay. But this one, here we go. It's closed. You have another status. Okay? Good. Okay. That's about the checking policies and checking notes. The other thing I have to show you about that, compare and edit. Okay, this we saw. Now the next thing about this is the notion of the belt. Okay? We are developing software. And if we are done the right way, we are done that based on some process. Okay? And in case of Agile, we are done based on some iteration level. In case of Scrum, we are done in case of sprint. Okay? Every sprint of every iteration, we have to deliver some functional part of the software. But in order to do that, you have to build the software. And again, from the first slide, the studying slide, we saw something like build manual inside Team Foundation server. That is part of. Again, from Team Foundation server and from the one of the last slides from this part of the presentation, I told you something about continuous integration. Continuous integration was new in Team Foundation server 2008. It still exists in 2010 as well, but it works good. But it doesn't prevent us to get wrong things into the repository. You can do it, it works good, but you still get wrong things into the repository. Wrong things in the terms of if your source code is not good, well, it is not good compiled, you can't get it into the repository. We have a new notion. It is something I will show you right now. Let's go back to the slides. So, I told you about the build. Build process. The build process. And again, in 2010, the build process is totally done from scratch. Totally from scratch. And what is the improvement of that? Is that the build process now is based on WF, Windows Foundation. Workflow Foundation, sorry, Workflow Foundation. It's new technology from Microsoft. Okay? Workflow Foundation. You can create activities, sequences, charts, and everything. And if you are handy with that, they're all based on XAML files. And again, for that, we have some XAML files or some templates from Microsoft provided for the build mechanism, for the build process. Okay? So, that is just for the continuous integration. How continuous integration works? When you activate that, the only thing to do is that edits your code, that submits your checking, that automates your build. But when your build is good, then it is ready for test, it is built, it is okay. When it is not good, it is a result to a broken build. Simple. That is how continuous integration works. That doesn't prevent you to get shit into your repository. So, but now we are talking about gated check-in. Gated check-in is a new mechanism or a new concept in terms of the build in Team Foundation Server 2010, just to prevent you more to get wrong test into the repository. What happens here is when you configure gated check-in, and I will absolutely show you how to configure that from your solution level for your build process. That means that your source code, you give it a check-in action for your source code, and the check-in action will absolutely not take place, will absolutely not succeed before your source code is built. When your source code is built successfully, then it will be checked in into the repository. Otherwise not. Does it make sense? Bon, كي قلنا دابا في continuous integration ملي كان يجي من 2008 ها شنو كيوقع؟ الكود كيتيديتا كيتسبميتا تشيكين وغادي البيلد كيتيكزيكيتا. الا كان البيلد مزيان راه كيكون ريدي فور تيست، بمعنى راه سكسيسفول بيلد التيست غادي يمشي يدير العمل ديالو. الا ما كانش مزيان كيقول لك راه ما مزيانش، الله يرحمنا صعب هادشي اللي كاين. ولكن دابا مع هاد الكايت تشيكين اللي دايرين دابا كاينين دي زيتاب اخرين، وهاد لي زيتاب ديال الكايت تشيكين كيحميوك باش اي حاجه ما مزياناش ما تديبوزاش في الريبوزيتوري ديالك. بعدا الكود اللي كيديبوزا في الريبوزيتوري هو الكود ملي كتاكتيفي هاد لوبسيون هادي، الكود خصو يتبدا بحال هو الاول، البيلد خصو ينجح، عاد ديك الساعه كيمشي للتشيكين اكسيون للريبوزيتوري. وترومون راه ما توقعش. سافو دير اي حاجه ما غاديش تكون في الريبوزيتوري اللي ما كانتش مزيان. تيوا هذا هو لو سيكري ديالك باش نقول سي بون. ولكن خص واحد يستعملها بلا مانيير كوريكت. صافي بون. هذا كتشوف edit code, submit gated checking, automated builds. If the build is good, then the commit is checked into the repository. And one interesting thing, when the checking is committed to the repository, you can absolutely get a notification if you want. I told you in the configuration stuff, you can configure your SMTP server to get, just if you are using Outlook, for instance, or other email system, to get emails from SMTP about the activities in the Team Foundation server. Just I will let you know how to configure that on a project level and to get notifications for everything in your own system, from work items, for the build, or whatever. That is absolutely the big word is reaching you again. We keep each other in control. That's the idea behind that. Okay? So now when it is done, you get some notification. Your build is correct. Good. Then it's ready again for the test, and the tester can do his or her work. Now if it is not done, the check-in will be rejected, notification, and the source code still checked out. Okay? Okay, let's go back to the codes and let me show you the builds. Okay, so again I want to make the code builds. Go ahead. Okay, what I want to show you now is I'm now switching back into another system, into my VPC, my virtual image. It is another application, as you see right here. This is TaskSpan application or TaskSpan team project. What I have to do now is just to create a new solution, just to show you the build process, because I have configured the build as well on my local machine. That's not done. That's why I want to show you from the virtual image. And okay, but see, oh man, the resolution is still a heck. Okay, so what you have to do now is just create a new project, the similar one as we have just created on the other side of the PC, on the local machine. Just an MVC application, just a web let me see. Okay, wait. Now let me create an MVC application. Why not? Oh shit. Okay, now let's MVC web day. Okay, no problem. Just name it MVC application. That's application. Yes, create it. Yes. Good. Just do your job. I just need that for the belt. I'm gonna switch back to the machine. Okay, that is the same thing we just saw on the other side. Control tab. Control enter. Yeah, okay, anyway. I want to get the full screen, but okay, I have another resolution because of the display. Okay, no problem. We see now we have a new solution, which is FEC application 1. Let me first rebuild the application, and we shall see if it will work or not. It is succeeded. It will work. We have just done anything. A team project from this team foundation server. We have just one collection and one project, which is test and toys project. Okay, cancel. What you have to do now is just to configure some build from here, from that project. But first that I have to store the source code of this solution into the repository, because I need. You see, again, that's something we saw before. We have one team project here, then I will store it here. But what I have to do now is just to make a new folder, which is MVC app demo branch. Okay. Good. Done. I will do okay. And from that case we have. Okay, that is something we saw already. You saw it already. I want to check it out. Check it into the repository. I don't know. Okay, that is the same thing we saw before as well. First, check in. I don't know if I have some work items on the query for that. Active tasks? No. Thank you. Okay, interesting. No, work items. Okay, no. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, I want to assign no work items. Okay, just checking. I did the same because I want to do things faster. It's just deletion of the belt. That's something I have to show you from here. That's why I'm getting here. Otherwise, we will back to our system. So you see right now from here, our source control is just stored in the repository. Okay, so. From here, I have to configure a build for that solution, just to show you how the build process from Team Foundation server is working. Okay, to do that, we have the notion of build definitions. The builds that are build definitions. That's one of the strictures you get from Team Foundation server as from all templates. Okay, you see by the way that this project is created on a VM virtual machine based on Windows 2008 R2 server. Then you have the whole configuration as well. You have the documents, you have the reports. That is something we didn't have by the local configuration. Okay, so again, build definition. Now what I have to do is to create one new build definition. And now it is just a wizard where you have to fill some information. Build definition MVC application belt definition, BD. Then we have triggers. Now I have to explain you the notion of the belt. The triggers, that are the possible manners how to trigger a belt. I told you, this one, the first one is manual. When you select this one, that means your belt will not be triggered. Except if you do a queue new belt, that's all. But the continuous integration, when you select this one, that means your belt will be triggered by every check-in action you do. When you do a check-in action of your source code, a belt will be triggered. Okay? I will show you in a couple of times. Rolling belts. When you are in a project and you do a lot of belts, 6 parallel with each other, then it is handy to choose this one. But you have to wait until one belt is finished, then the other one will start. And you can see, you can give a delay of 1 hour, belt every hour, for instance. You can specify that in minutes here, and belt not more often than every hour or every 2 hours or whatever. The guided check-in, that is something we talked about. You see what is here? Accepts check-ins only if the submitted changes merge and build successfully. That's what I told you before. Okay? Then we have scheduled belts. Scheduled belts, you can schedule them. If you are working on a big system and you don't have enough time to build from time to time a day, then you can schedule your belts and it will build for you in 90 hours or whatever. Okay? And the results of the belts will be deployed somewhere for test run on a test machine or something like that, just to fit the job. Good. So that's about that. Now we have to begin first with continuous integration. Then we have workspace. What I have to do is go away. Go away. Because I'm not interested on that one. Good. He picked it up directly. That's this one. I'm on this one. This one I have to build. So good. And that is the agent. So that's why I need okay. Everyone can see it? Yeah? Okay. 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 Oh, pick up. Okay. In terms of configuration, we have one instance of T-Phone Leisure server. Okay? So, in case of 2008 and 2005, 2008, and in case of 2010. Okay, in this case, one installation of Team Foundation server have to make a Team Foundation server belt controller, BC, and the bit controller have only one Team Foundation server belt agent. It is the controller and it is the agent. Okay? That is the old situation. But in 2010, I told you the belt is just made from scratch. Why? Because there are some modifications. One is the process that is based on Windows workflow. B, the notion of multi-use, of multi-support, of multi-agents. Yep. So in this case, we still have one instance of Team Foundation server. We still have one instance of build controller, Team Foundation server build controller. But now we have the support from the build controller to support more agents. More. Okay? And if you are planning to use this scenario, please be careful, because the controller and the agents, of course you can make your Team Foundation server as Team Foundation server built as well. Both functionalities on one server. That is possible. But if you are doing a lot of builds and that kind of stuff, I will advise you to choose just a dedicated server just for the build, a Steam build. If you are looking in the whole picture of the whole farm, I saw something like Team Build farm on the corner. That is what I mean by that. Okay? So in that case, still you have just the Team Foundation server, but the Team Foundation server build on it as well. Then you have this case. That means you have agent 1, agent 2, agent 3, agent 4, agent N. That means the build controller is clever enough to see if there are a lot of builds in the queue, to see, okay, still we have 4 agents, and we have 6 build definitions that are queued parallelly or simultaneous. Okay? So what you see is the build controller is clever enough to see, okay, this one is the first, understand the second is standard, the second, okay. Third, okay, he's just pulling. Every time an agent is becoming free, it picks up the controller assigned the next build in the queue. Performance, time winning, and just people. Does this make sense? Okay. That is the difference in the build concept from 2008, 2005, and 2010. One of the differences. So, I told you that because I see here build agent. The build definition. The build definition. I told you about the controller. That's what I mean. This build controller. We have one instance of TFS, one controller. Okay? Then, we have something that we call copy build output to the following drop folder. That is just the shared directory or shared drop location for your builds. That is the location where the build output will be stored if your build succeeded. And if your build not succeeded, that is the output directory where your log file of the build will be dropped. And this shared path, it is not necessary to be on the build server, on the Team Foundation server, or on the build server. It can be everywhere you want on your network, as it is shared. It must be shared, and it must have the permissions made. Permissions, I mean, the Team Foundation build is executed under the TFS build account and the TFS service account. Both permissions have to be made for the location where the build output have to be stored. Okay? So, in this case, I will just do on the, I don't know if, I don't know if I have local directory here. What I'm now looking for is just shared directory drops. Yes, we have drops or builds drop locations. Yes, drop locations. That's what I want. Okay, builds drops. That is something I want. Okay, under drops, that's something where I have to store my code. Okay, good. So from the configuration of my build, I will just assign that path. Okay. Drops, yes. Okay, that is just shared path, and drops and just give it a name. Drops and MVC output, build definition output. Okay. Then we have the process. The process, that is something new. That is based on workflow. That's what I mean. And inside the process, we see some things. Just here you can specify which parts of the solution or the projects you have to build. Here you can see, because I have already selected the solution, just efficient application, but you can specify projects specifically or the whole solution what you want. Okay. Then the configuration, I told you, keep it in mind because we need that by the build. That is here, the build or release. In this case, we do the build and the platforms that are more .NET, CPU, Itanium, mixed platform, 32, 64, or x6. Okay, but for now we do just any CPU. You see that the build process as well supported for multi-platform. Okay. So then we have some automated tests. If you are decided to make the builds as part of your build process, you can activate this one. That means when you build the application, the unit tests will be run as well and will be succeeded, then it will help to do the application. That's it. Okay. Okay. Another information here is advanced, and by advanced we see that we have some analysis test impact or associated change sets and work items for the build. That's something we want. The agent settings, if you have one or more agents configured, the settings of the agents can be configured here. Maybe you can specify your settings with filters or with other tags, tags for the agents. Might be an idea. And if you are planning to make your build process as your deployment process as well, to combine both, building, when it is built, deploy it again, or deploy it further to somewhere, you can give the arguments just here. You have some arguments, ms deploy if you use ms deploy, against which deployment type, or remote only, or agent, or local, or whatever, deployment server we have to deploy to, and which parameters you have to give, which paths that are deployed to. All the information you will keep it just here, and it will do the job. Just in one build action. Build and deploy it together. Okay? Okay, good. So, because of the time, now, I told you about the process templates for the build. We have three. The default template, that's the default one. We have the upgrade template for the build. This one is used when you are upgrading from Team Foundation Server 2008 to Team Foundation Server 2010. Then you have to use this template for the build. And if you are planning to use your build against your lab management, then you have to do some stuff with lab default template. Okay, they have some information about the lab management stuff. Okay, so for now we keep just the default template. And that are some of us. When I double click that one, it will take me to the repository where it is stored on the Team Foundation server as well. Okay, that is that. Then we have the retention policy. The retention policy that are the available states of the build we can get. We have a stopped build because it stopped for some reason. It stopped because the network is lost or something like that. We have a failed build because something is going wrong. And we have partially succeeded. Partially succeeded. That means it is partially good. One half is good and the other half not. What the heck? I will explain. When you choose or when you make the unit tests of your solution as part of your build process, okay, and your source code and unit tests will both be executed during the build. Suppose your code is going good, but your unit is not. Or otherwise, unit tests are good, but source code not. Then we are talking about partial succeeded builds. Okay? And maybe everything is going good and we have just succeeded build. Okay? But I suppose in case of you have just one box, Team Foundation server and Dev is built on the same machine, and you have to keep with some disk drive load or storage problematic, blah blah blah. You have some configuration to do here. Now maybe here I want just to keep two latest builds or just the latest one, because it is the filed one. Or for this one I have just to keep the two latest one, and that one I have to keep also the two latest. Because I have the situation of yesterday, situation of today. And tomorrow I will have the situation of yesterday and situation of today. You have every time you have 2 situations again, or maybe 5 or 5 in case you have the situation of the whole week. When you are working from Monday until Friday, then you have 5, and you have from Monday you have every belt on the server store, and you can get back if there's something wrong to the previous belt. Okay, so that is about the configuration of the belt definition and how you do
what to delete.
Delete?
No, what to delete.
What to delete? What to delete? Test results, latest, date, it's all the information. If you want to delete your belt, if you choose one of the belts is going wrong, you want to delete it, that's all the information that will be deleted on that. You will be notified about it as well. Okay? So,
I have general question about the build. When you speak about the version 2010, there is agents.
yes?
They are running on the same machine. Is there any way to get this agents running on other machines?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. The idea is that I'm not looking in the case you have a big T, okay? And you have one installation of T Foundation server, and you will configure T Foundation belt. The idea in that case is just keep the T Foundation server as well as it is. I will explain you. Okay. That is the advice from the belt process as well. What you see is we have T Foundation server. This is just one box, but we have as well a build server. On the build server, the only thing we do is just installing the build service, T Foundation build service, which is part of the install media on the server, yeah. And the build controller will be stored here, yeah. And the agents. And the agents, we have 2 scenarios. Sorry, I will give you 2 scenarios. We have T Foundation server, which contains the build controller, yeah, and we have the T Foundation belt, T belt, yeah, which contain just the build service and the agents. Because the integration of T Foundation server with the build server, because it are services, here's some consistency on that. When I configure a belt from here with this build controller, this one can connect to another machine where the agents are stored to do the job. This is handy in case of you doing parallel belts, and every agent can pick up. I make a build definition A. Belt definition A, belt definition B, belt definition C, but this one will be held by this one, that one will be held by this one, but simultaneously, parallel. That is the idea. Support parallélisme ديال الباب c'est maintenant applicable. Ouais, c'est. Yeah?
Parce que ça fait gagner un temps fou. On gagne beaucoup de temps avec ça.
Absolument. Je viens, ça fait 3 semaines, je viens de finir un projet où j'ai fait le support pour une grande compagnie qui fait le développement de AutoCAD Systems en C++, Delphi et .NET. Ce sont des systèmes très grands systèmes. Et ils ont le problème de performance concernant le build. Voilà, c'est ma solution. Take your build server from your T-Foundation server away. Just configure the build controller on T-Foundation server and keep your agents outside of your build. And then configure many different agents and you can stick with it. The performance is absolutely interesting. They are happy? I'm happy. Give me the money. And she's done in 2 weeks.
You worth it. You worth it.
Thank you. Okay. So, that is about that. Done. That is the configuration. Is it clear right now? Good. Good idea. Good question, by the way. Okay. So now let we go back to the. I'm done with this. Okay, I'm done with this. Now just save it. What is this? Must be format. Then is that here? Stupid. Okay. You see, he notifies you about your own things you do. Okay, so from now I configure this belt and I configure that it make use of continuous integration. Now when I make a check-in action from my source code, a build will be triggered. Let me see the magic. Controller, let's go to home controller. This one we got? Yes. And when I do just something here, test builds. I know I'm not busy with C#. It's just testing, just comment. Okay. When I do save and let me first duplicate this one, then we get the detailed information of the belt. Then you can see that my belt stick onto here. So let me now go ahead to the source code. When I do check-in, which will not, okay, that is test belt, and you see the only one. Then we have some. Okay, here we have now work items stored on it. Okay, not configured. Okay, checked in. You see the check-in is done. Admin build must be queued. Voila. The build is queued as a result of my change of my check-in action. Because main build definition is configured to make use of continuous integration. Right? We shall see. But now you can see as well what are the details, build details, what's going on, what's going on behind the scene. That is, all this information is based on the workflow template. I showed you the XAML file, default template .xaml. That's all the information. You see now the build is now updating the build member, is already the drop location, and how many times it takes to do that. And you see my build is stuck. My build fails for some reason. I know why, because this location doesn't exist. Stupid guy I am. Because this one doesn't exist. We have to do now the right one. The build definition. Oh no, edit build definition. Because this one doesn't exist. It just drops. That was the problem. Yes. Why not? What the heck? The share path. Okay. It's not found on or not support type. Finish path, yeah. Okay. What you want? No. Pardon? Bah, en tout cas, c'est l'idée, c'est ça l'idée du build. Lorsque le path est bien configuré, il va déposer les résultats du build de le path là, et voilà, on a fait. C'est ça l'idée. Hein? لا هذا drops. Mais il va pas accepter. Archi accepté عليها.
Non,
Parce que le compte est configuré, il n'a pas accès à ça. Le compte qu'il utilise, il doit avoir accès à ça.
Voilà.
Si il y a un répertoire partagé par tout le monde, il doit accès public pour le mettre.
oh, si vous ne l'êtes pas valide.
Tu vois?
Vous n'êtes pas valide.
لا pas n'est pas validé. حتى يعرفوا واش سميتو. Tu vois? ملي
إذا دزتي وصلتي الشنة من ديماري اكزيكيتي باش توصل لهذيك الريفيرا تكون في
Donc, alors, c'est la bonne branche.
Attends, là-dessus? Je sais pas pourquoi. Drop ça.
Donc, alors, c'est la bonne branche. Donc, alors, c'est before branch.
Non, non. لا اللي ما فهمتش انا علاش كياخذوهم اللي كيعطيهم ليا من هنا كوم سا سفي وملي باش يجي ندير لها كونفيغوراسيون كيقول لك راه ما اني با فاليد حمار. با اون توك هذه هي ليدي دوك زعما الدروب لوكاشن كتكون بيان كونفيغوري وداك الشيء راه من تما لي ريزولتا ديال البلد ملي كيكون سكسي كيديبوزاو تما هادشي اللي فيها صافي. بون شحال واو اوكي. So that's all about the belt. That are the improvements. What you just see is just the branch visualization, workflow foundation based belt engine, the belt server pooling, the tags, and gated check-in. هاد المسائل كلهم شفناهم دابا في الديمونستراسيون. Bon. Database. Okay, we have the support of Microsoft SQL Server. We have support for other databases, DB2, Oracle, and others from Visual Studio right now to do just your job right the right way. Okay,